Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. Inside the Ice Hell Star Band of the Black Flower secret region, a towering palace surrounded by flames appeared out of nowhere, and the second it appeared, it became the core of the entirety Ice Hell, exerting an aggressive and mighty force on it. All the Undying playing in the Ice Hell Star Band instantly began shivering out of fright. What's the point of scaring them as Master of Skywolf? A trace of purple light, and then blue light flew to the floating palace. They ought to grovel upon my arrival. The rumbling sound came out of the palace, and a figure covered with fire walked out. The figure looked like the manifestation of law of the universe. Tongues of flames surrounded him, and the dark Skywolf was walking at a slow pace. The space and time around him were in his control completely, and he was the owner of the entire Ice Hell Star Band. Even the Blue Knight and the Purple Knight had to revere him. He was the greatest being of the Skywolf clan, Master of Skywolf. There is a Skywolf detained in Ice Hell. His voice was rumbling, trembling the entire domain. Let it out. The Purple Knight and the Blue Knight gave each other a look. There was an immense number of demon race creatures, and they hadn't expected that Master of Skywolf would show up for merely an Undying. Please wait a minute, Master of Skywolf, the Blue Knight said and waved his hand. A cylindrical icicle appeared on his palm. Since Master of Skywolf arrived, he needed to carry his treasure to greet him. Ice Hell was one of the sealing treasures, which was scarce and precious. Together with the Blue Knight's talents, its tremendous power could be fully utilized. The Blue Knight's mind entered the Ice Hell and locked onto the Skywolf, kicking it out easily. Get out. The white Skywolf didn't stand straight until rolling among the stars. After looking around, exhilaration filled its eyes. When it saw the purple and blue figures, and the palace engulfed in fire where stood the forceful black Skywolf, it recalled the legend of the Skywolf clan. It couldn't believe its eyes. Leader. Cybo WA groveled with a thrill. The legendary leader of Skywolf clan. The eternal leader. Purple Knight, how powerful is this Skywolf? The black Skywolf looked at the Purple Knight from afar. Although the Purple Knight and Master of Skywolf bore some grudges against each other, the Knight had to suppress his hostility. Master of Skywolf wasn't just any universe master with invaluable treasures. Master of Skywolf, said the Purple Knight, this one is particularly talented, and it is ranked among the top 5 in Ice Hell. If it were equipped with some suitable treasures, it would rival other invincible emperors. Then why did you detain it, knowing its potential? Master of Skywolf kept grumbling. It's my Ice Hell that detained it, the Blue Knight said, clearly irritated. Master of Skywolf looked to the Blue Knight. Rumble. An invisible force assailed the Blue Knight, whose body bounced away and cracked, after which the pieces were assembled. Who allowed you to speak? The voice was muddled with anger. Coldness flashed through his eyes, which terrified the Purple Knight. Master of Skywolf, the Purple Knight screamed. Relax. Because of you, I won't actually hurt him. Master of Skywolf calmed himself down. It was just a small punishment. The Blue Knight flew back to the Purple Knight. He was filled with exasperation, but all he could do was to suppress it. The Purple Knight smiled and said, Master of Skywolf, I've already let your people go. If you want to catch up with me, you can come with me to the Ice Hell Star Band, and I can invite some friends. I'll pass. Master of Skywolf glimpsed at the Purple Knight, and looked down to Cybo WA. Cybo WA said, Leader, there's a human in Ice Hell, and he has the Beast God token. It didn't dare to tell him that it was the one who had given the human the token, as it was afraid to enrage this supreme being that it had only heard of before. Beast God token. Master of Skywolf looked to the Purple Knight. Let the human out, and I'll take him with me, Master of Skywolf said. It was an excellent deal to get the token with a word, as the tokens were limited resources to erase. Human. The Purple Knight and the Blue Knight exchanged eye contact and realized they were in trouble. The Purple Knight shook his head. There was no human. Don't you dare tell me there's not, the voice blasted, trembling its surroundings. The space was twisted like waves. Of course, you know that there's a human inside. No, there's not, the Purple Knight said and kept shaking his head. The two knights didn't have the guts to hand in the human. They had already contacted Mountain Sitting Guest, and confirmed that the human was a student highly valued by him. Everyone knew how mighty Mountain Sitting Guest was. Even Master of Skywolf was nothing compared to him. They might manage to survive if they wronged Master of Skywolf. However, even the Ancestral God School couldn't protect them if they wronged Mountain Sitting Guest. There's no human, agreed the Blue Knight, shaking his head, too. The little one must have misremembered it. There was a human before, but he died a long time ago. Master of Skywolf looked at the Purple Knight and the Blue Knight in shock. He could not believe they were unwilling to give him the human. Cybo WA, standing to the side, was also looking at its leader and waiting for his hint. If he was to give up, it would say the similar thing as the two knights. Otherwise, it would tell a different story. Interesting, Master of Skywolf said. Who is this human? He doesn't sound like a nobody. Master of Skywolf stood in front of the towering palace and overlooked the knights. Did a supreme being of the human race make a pact with you both, so that you two would rather defy me? If it's something good to humans, I'll surely sabotage it. Give me the human. Master of Skywolf glared at them. Or I'll get him myself. Leader. They were lying. I just saw the human. Cybo WA shouted. Did you hear me? Master of Skywolf looked down at the knights. Master of Skywolf. The Purple Knight said with fury. Are you going to fight us, because of a human? I'll suggest you back off, the Blue Knight said. They were already secretly notifying Mountain Sitting Guest, who had unbelievable skills, to share the news. However, Mountain Sitting Guest only responded, give him the human and medal. Don't tell him my relationship with this human. Give me the human, demanded Master of Skywolf. No matter who's behind him, I won't be afraid. Even if he's the founder of Gigantic Axe. The Purple Knight and the Blue Knight gave each other a look. They were pondering why Mountain Sitting Guest would tell them to stand aside and not expose the relationship. Master of Skywolf would certainly go away if he heard the name Mountain Sitting Guest. But what was the point of this if Mountain Sitting Guest said so? Okay. The Purple Knight nodded. We'll let him go. Deep in the snow of Eastern Ice Hell, Luo Feng sat in the living room and waiting for the Primal Chaos city leader. Rumble. He suddenly felt the entire ceiling force squeezing him. Space cracked at the front. He was squeezed out without even putting up a fight. Luo Feng opened his wings and floated among the stars. It must be my teacher, Luo Feng thought. But he was startled by what he saw. The Purple Knight and the Blue Knight were standing afar, and on the other side floated a gigantic palace surrounded by flames. The power that emanated from it was colossal, and surpassed that of the sky-swallowing palace, which Luo Feng had seen before. The owner, a black sky wolf, petrified Luo Feng, and next to him stood a subservient white sky wolf. It's the sky wolf of Ice Hell, Luo Feng thought to himself. Human, Cybo WA said, looking down at Luo Feng smugly. The token was only kept by you temporarily. And now, the token and your life will both be gone. Master of Skywolf looked down at Luo Feng. You seem to have a strong background, the master said. Unfortunately, you're dying today and will not be resurrected. Where is my teacher? He should have arrived a long time ago. Die. Master of Skywolf said nonchalantly. All forms of sound went off and spread to all the creatures detained in Ice Hell. Luo Feng and Cybo WA heard it, too, and so did the two knights and Master of Skywolf. Among the Ice Hell star band, a blurry river of sky that was several light years long appeared and covered the entire star band. It looked infinitely long, as if it were opening an entrance to another universe. On the river floated various kinds of treasures, each of whose force permeated the space. It's Thousand Treasure River, cried the Purple Knight, dazed. Thousand Treasure River, the Blue Knight said and looked to Master of Skywolf, gloating. Master of Skywolf was bewildered. He roared, standing in front of the palace with his hoofs. Primal Chaos City Leader. Why don't you show yourself, since you're here? The fire around him soared with spread everywhere, but it was extinguished by the force from the river. The palace started to oscillate, as if it would topple at any minute. The weak Undying, together with Luo Feng and Saibo Wa, was stunned after seeing this. The Thousand Treasure River was only a reflection of a river that cast a shadow on the stars, which was why it looked blurry. However, Skywolf Palace could only barely resist its mighty power. That is the first time I have ever seen Thousand Treasure River, the Blue Knight sighed. It is indeed forceful and unstoppable. According to the legend, Thousand Treasure River is made up of 1,000 invaluable treasures, and if it was dismantled, it would become 1,000 individual invaluable treasures. Dismantle? Who could do that? Said the Purple Knight. The birth of this river is for the treasures to strengthen each other. Each of the treasure has its flaws and is only as powerful as an ordinary top-tier treasure. Only assembling them into the Thousand Treasure River can make the invulnerable treasure that roams the universe. You have never seen how the Primal Chaos City Leader slaughters other creatures. This is only an body of him. His original body is more powerful than this. I've heard of it before, the Blue Knight said as he nodded. Primal Chaos City Leader. One of the bodies sits in the Primal Universe and the other in the original one, taking charge of the Virtual Universe Company. And the strongest original is meant for killing. Luo Feng couldn't hear the conversation between the Blue Knight and the Purple Knight. How powerful my teacher is, muttered Luo Feng. And this is only one of his bodies. Luo Feng looked at the boundless projection of the river and Master of Skywolf, who was struggling to control Skywolf Palace inside the project. Luo Feng admired his teacher even more. Teacher Mountain Sitting Guest thinks that I can become a universe master and utilize Star Tower in the future, even surpass the Primal Chaos City Leader in the future. Thought Luo Feng, filled with aspiration. The Primal Chaos City Leader could annihilate everything within several square light years, with a snap of his fingers. A gigantic figure that was 10,000 kilometers tall walked on the waves of the river toward him with a huge stone stick. Master of Skywolf, said the figure. It is outrageous for you to kill my human student. What is that? Gasped Luo Feng. He was thrilled. This was the first time he had seen the other body of his teacher. It was 6,000 miles tall and silvery white. There were 1,000 antennas on its head, and the eyes looked tranquil. He walked on the waves barefoot and held a rugged stick. Only a seemingly ordinary shirt was covering the body, whereas the sound of the treasures on the shirt echoed. Each thread of the shirt looked like a running river. Is this a special life? Luo Feng knew that it was a special life, as there were no clans in the human race that looked like this. What's more, it was 6,000 miles tall. If it wasn't originally this tall, enlarging one's size would only make it weaker. This is the Primal Chaos City Leader. Saibo Wa was dazed and had to reluctantly admit that the Primal Chaos City Leader was indeed more forceful than the leader of its clan. Saibo Wa glanced at Luo Feng. He is able to bring the Primal Chaos City Leader here. When the Primal Chaos City Leader walked toward everyone with the rugged stick in his hand and Thousand Treasure shirt on his body, Master of Skywolf did look comparatively inferior. Primal Chaos City Leader, you think so highly of this human that you come here by yourself, Master of Skywolf said. Didn't you come for this little one here? The Primal Chaos City Leader asked, looking at the tiny white Skywolf. There was no comparison between their sizes, but they were at least equally forceful. As for the Blue Knight and the Purple Knight, they became the insignificant parts of the conversation, and were overlooked by both the Primal Chaos City Leader and the Master. As for Luo Feng and Saibo Wa, they were less than negligible. I didn't come here with a purpose. Master of Skywolf suddenly looked to Luo Feng. You, on the other hand, gave this human an invaluable treasure. Luo Feng was startled. An invaluable treasure. He possesses an invaluable treasure. Saibo Wa was stupefied and looked to Luo Feng. What? the Purple Knight and the Blue Knight said, also looking toward Luo Feng in shock. This was new information for them. Let me check, Master of Skywolf said in a hoarse voice. Blade River Emperor. Interesting. I can't believe a Sector Lord is able to disguise himself as an Undying with the invaluable treasure and garner such a reputation. This student you have is nothing like the fallen Kudi. Let's see which invaluable treasure he possesses. According to the information, Blade River Emperor is incredibly rapid, so I assume this wing is his invaluable treasure. Am I right, Primal Chaos City Leader? The Purple Knight, the Blue Knight, and Cybo WA were all dumbfounded. Sector Lord. He was only a Sector Lord. He can escape from Silver Eye as merely a Sector Lord. Cybo WA was bewildered. It must be the invaluable treasure which makes him so powerful. Impressive, indeed, said the Purple Knight. He can be this mighty as only a Sector Lord and earn such fame, said the Blue Knight. No wonder Mountain Sitting Guest values him this much. The Purple Knight and the Blue Knight sighed. They would also definitely aspire to get the invaluable treasure if they had known Luo Feng had won, but they wouldn't have actually had the guts to take it by force. Luo Feng was in shock. He looked at Master of Skywolf and thought, Teacher Mountain Sitting Guest is right. I do have 3 invaluable treasures, the Tower Pearl, Star Map, and Showu Wing, respectively. However, I've never shown them in front of the Master, and the powerful creatures shouldn't be able to recognize them unless I wield their powers. Does he suspect it simply because I'm so fast? This Master of Skywolf is perceptive, indeed. The invaluable treasure can only trick the knights. Luo Feng recalled how Put and Teacher Mountain Sitting Guest were able to see his real identity as a Sector Lord. The invaluable treasure wasn't as effective at concealing the aura. The Primal Chaos City Leader said, an ordinary invaluable treasure is nothing, and of course I'll give it to the juniors of my race who have great potential. This is how the supreme beings are made. Do you know why we of the human race have less undying than the demon race, yet we have more supreme undying? It is because we're willing to give while you are not. Will you, as Master of Skywolf, be willing to give this little one an invaluable treasure? Cybo WA was thrilled. An invaluable treasure. Could it really get an invaluable treasure? It couldn't help glancing at the Master, but then it looked down instantly. The invaluable treasure could only be rewarded by the Master, and Cybo WA could never ask for it directly. Everyone knows you humans prospered because of the virtual universe, Master of Skywolf roared. And it's not your business to tell me how to train my descendants. I'm done talking to you now. He finished and brought Cybo WA into the palace. The Primal Chaos City Leader burst into laughter, which permeated the Thousand Treasure River, and made the Skywolf Palace tremble. Master of Skywolf growled and flew away, entering the dark universe after hitting light speed. Apparently, within the power range of the river, Master of Skywolf couldn't teleport himself even with the palace. This Skywolf is still so reckless. The Primal Chaos City Leader shook his head and looked to the 2 knights. Thank you for taking care of my student for the past 2,000 years, he said. Then he vanished together with Luo Feng and the river. Thank us, the Blue Knight said, a bit dazed. I heard that the Primal Chaos City Leader was belligerent, but now he thanks us. Why is he so good-tempered? Good-tempered? The Purple Knight sneered. You only say that because you've never seen how the Primal Chaos City Leader slaughtered before. The Master dared to speak only because he was innately reckless, but did you realize he fled after only saying a few words? Among the 5 forces of the human race, the Virtual Universe Company is as powerful as the Battle Axe Colosseum. Do you really think the Primal Chaos City Leader can control the entire virtual universe by being good-tempered? How can his original be famous for slaughtering if he's good-tempered? The Blue Knight blinked. Be careful, the Purple Knight said. The most powerful of the 6 peak races were all ruthless, and they can destroy us in the blink of an eye if necessary. I get it. The Blue Knight nodded. Inside the Primal Secret Region. After 1 God Country transport and a million light-year teleportation, the Primal Chaos City Leader arrived at one of the many secret regions of the human race, the the Primal Secret region. The Primal Chaos city leader jumped up with the 1,000 treasure shirt and turned into a boundless river, surrounding the stars and the palaces. The river, Luo Feng said. He looked at the stars and couldn't see the end of the river. The 1,000 treasure river can transform into everything, and this river is its original look. The Primal Chaos city leader pointed at it. Luo Feng, the reason that I could intimidate the master is this river. And an invaluable treasure like this is the cornerstone of our race. You are a man with luck. Perhaps you will be able to get an invaluable treasure like this in the future. I'll try my best, Luo Feng answered. The Primal Chaos city leader smiled and said, then I'll wait and see. 1,000 Treasure River was a top-tier invaluable treasure, and even most of the masters of the universe couldn't obtain treasures like this. The Primal Chaos city leader was just saying this to encourage Luo Feng, instead of actually expecting him to get a top-tier invaluable treasure. Perhaps you don't know, teacher, but I've already had 2 invaluable treasures, thought Luo Feng, one of which being Force Armor, and its 1,000 Treasure Rivers equal. As for Star Tower, it's one of the most powerful invaluable treasures in the entire universe. The Primal Chaos city leader shrunk to the size of Luo Feng from a planet-sized giant. Luo Feng, there's something I need to ask you, the Primal Chaos city leader said. But the choice is yours. Please, teacher, Luo Feng answered. Beside the river and the palaces, they started to talk. Truyang Emperor is also your teacher, and that's why I need to tell you more about him, the Primal Chaos city leader said gradually and calmly. As a matter of fact, Truyang Emperor is also practicing on the path of Beast God. What? Luo Feng was dazed. There are a few powerful ones on that path, but they all kept it as a secret, the Primal Chaos city leader explained. The most talented ones of your generation, like you and 7-Blade Emperor, are all following the path of Beast God. However, Beast Gods belong to Ancestral God School, whose existence is a top secret in the universe, and thus people who train themselves following the path of Beast all keep in as a secret, and so do you. Luo Feng nodded. Only a small number of people knew that Luo Feng was following the path of Beast God. I told you this because your teacher, Truyang Emperor, is following the branch of Soil and Space, the Primal Chaos city leader said. Soil and Space? Luo Feng said with shock. The Beast God inheritance token he just obtained was of Soil and Space. You're a smart person, and you must have guessed what I mean. The Primal Chaos city leader looked at the boundless 1,000 Treasure River and said. 7-Blade Emperor got a token from our race before. Given your potential, you'll also get one when you officially become an Undying. On the contrary, he continued, your teacher Truyang Emperor is not as talented as you. He only became an invincible emperor by training for an extraordinarily long time and getting instructions from other powerful ones within our race. It's impossible for him to get a token from the race. He filed an application before, but the race has never granted him any approval, and thus, he can only earn the token himself. However, the tokens are some of the scarcest resources in the universe, and one can only find them by luck, with which a sector lord can obtain one by accident. But without luck, a universe knight can't find one even if he were to comb every inch of the universe. The Primal Chaos city leader looked at Luo Feng. The resources in our race belong to all the humans. Although there are countless treasures, they must be granted to the most talented, and it must be subject to all the seniors' discretion. But now, there's a way to help your teacher. I bet you already understand what I mean, the Primal Chaos city leader continued. You can give the token to your teacher directly. Your teacher is going to the land of inheritance now, and it's a huge opportunity for him, as he might become a universe knight. He might also fail since he's far less talented than you or 7-Blade Emperor. You two are almost his rivals by such a short time of training. I'm willing to give it to my teacher, Luo Feng answered without any hesitation. He had to pay Truyang Emperor back. I'll get the token anyway when I become an Undying, he thought. All I need to do is wait. Once my third body comes into being, I'll become an Undying. However, my teacher has already waited for an eternity. A small time of waiting in exchange for a huge opportunity for my teacher is totally worth it. You've made up your mind already. No regrets. The Primal Chaos city leader looked to Luo Feng. No, I won't regret it, Luo Feng said, nodding sternly. Great. The Primal Chaos city leader nodded. Now, you'll give the token to your teacher. However, you don't necessarily have to wait to become an Undying to go to the land of inheritance. I'll file an application for you. Normally, you'll be granted one after entering the Undying level, but I believe Master of Skywolf will make the news of Blade River Emperor public. Master of Skywolf. Luo Feng was dazed. Yes, said the Primal Chaos city leader. Blade River Emperor is a sector lord. He will definitely let everyone know and will polish the story. Once it's made known, lots of the peak races will have their eyes on you and try to assassinate you. The Primal Chaos city leader sighed. The human race will know, too. Your identity as Blade River Emperor is only known to few, but it will change soon, he continued. I'll use it as an excuse to file an application for the inheritance token for you. Since you're already as powerful as 7-Blade Emperor, you're already qualified to enter the land of inheritance. The Primal Chaos city leader smiled. Although that's a place of danger, it only comes from the competition within our race, as nobody from the other races will dare to assassinate you in the sacred land of Ancestral God School. That's why I think the token will be granted. However, I can't be 100% sure. After all, they are the resources of the entire human race, and all I'm in charge of is the Virtual Universe Company. The seniors might veto it, since only the Undying were able to enter it before. I'll say you're more likely to succeed than to fail. Thank you, teacher, Luo Feng said. He truly appreciated the help. There would still be grudges between siblings. Hence, normally, there were hidden competitions between the 5 powers of the human race. It would be conceivably difficult, as the resources didn't only belong to the Primal Chaos city leader. The more powerful and famous you are, the easier it is for me to apply for the resources, the Primal Chaos city leader said with a smile. He was content looking at Luo Feng. Although he already knew Luo Feng's personality by experience, he was joyful when he saw Luo Feng's willingness to give the token to Truyang Emperor without any doubts. Apparently, Luo Feng knew how to show gratitude. Blade River Emperor was only a sector lord. The news was like a thunder and shocked all the powerful creatures. It spread like wildfire, and lots of the powerful ones of the human race knew about it within the day. People everywhere in the Hong Alliance city were talking about it. Blade River Emperor is a sector lord. He was able to kill a peak emperor. And now, people are saying he's only a sector lord. How is it possible for a sector lord to be so mighty? It's outrageous. It must be fake. It's real. Both the demon race and the automation race have already found out about it, and they've already offered bounties for killing this Blade River Emperor. If he is indeed a sector lord, why were so many powerful ones unable to distinguish him? The auras between a sector lord and an Undying are totally different. They said Blade River Emperor obtained an invaluable treasure, which conceals his true identity. Invaluable treasure. Blade River Emperor has an invaluable treasure. That can even set Universe Knights crazy. It was madness. The news that Blade River Emperor is a sector lord and that Blade River Emperor had an invaluable treasure made a plethora of powerful ones jealous. One could tell how tempting an invaluable treasure was by the sound and fury Sealing Star resulted in. If Blade River Emperor is a sector lord, who is he exactly? He's even more unimaginable than the legendary Kudai. Perhaps it's Luo Feng, as is the most powerful sector lord of the human race, and has already passed the sector lord level Sky Mountain. I don't think it's Luo Feng. Instead, it might be a super talent who has been undercover all the time. And this talent is even stronger than both Kudai and Luo Feng, and that's why they've kept it as a secret, and given him an invaluable treasure to conceal it. Where did all the talents come from? Luo Feng is already the genius of our time. Maybe this Blade River Emperor is one of the most talented of the human race, and is even mightier than Kudai and Luo Feng. I still think it's Luo Feng. It's impossible for such a genius to stay anonymous. Within the boundless universe and hundreds of millions of races, most of the creatures had heard the news of Blade River Emperor. They also knew that Blade River Emperor belonged to the human race, but they couldn't be sure who he really was. Lots of people thought it was Luo Feng because, based on all they knew, only Luo Feng had such potential. Dad, are you the Blade River Emperor? Some of the superfamilies within our Ganwu universe also talk about this Blade River Emperor during businesses. I've heard of some of the news and guessed it was you. In the 9-star Bay of Black Dragon Island, Luo Feng was having meals with his family. I also heard of it, Shushin said. Don't interrogate me, Luo Feng said. Luo Ping and Luo Hai smiled, because their father would have denied it if it weren't true. Dad, you're awesome. Luo Hai said, opening his eyes wide. Remember not to tell anyone, Luo Feng said as he glanced at his sons. We know, said Luo Ping. We know how serious it is, Luo Hai answered with excitement. Although Blade River Emperor was yet to become the most powerful one in the universe, he had already garnered widespread fame, and his name would be in history forever. Wasn't that what they wanted? Fame. This is only the beginning of my rise, thought Luo Feng. I'll only become stronger since I'm on the edge now. And the demon race, you'll lose in the end. This video will end here.